Hey everybody, Riot Morton here, and I managed to sneak in a game. I did. I ended my workday, I snuck in a game. I'm not gonna necessarily guarantee it was the best game. Well, I won't spoil it here, but I had a game. I played a game, so this is what you get to see. So, you know, I don't have time to play multiple games and pick the best one for you, but we'll see how this one goes. So hopefully you guys are enjoying PvE. It's been an interesting experience for me. I'm kind of on the outside, just like, cool. But what I will say, and hopefully the team watches this, is that no matter how this set lands from like a balance perspective, the thing I'm really proud of this set is that it has an amazing core, right? Like the set mechanic I think has a lot of depth. I think a lot of the champ design is really interesting. The traits are gonna push some of the limit. The combinatorics are really good here. And so I don't know, I think this is a solid core to a set. And so there's just a lot of fun stuff going on. I've had a lot of good moments, you know. Now, are there rough edges that need to be sanded? Oh yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm sure they're working on, you know. So, but I'm really proud of the team for this set. So, all right, we hit 10 gold because it was Scuttle Puddle. It's good. All right, what are we gonna get here? So, looking at, you know me, I'm always going to buy the Crystal Rose champions, see if I can get Crystal Rose going. We've also got a Star Guardian start possibly with that early Nico. So, a lot of good options here. We'll see. The Bloodthirster makes it a little weird here, so hopefully we get a third item that makes a little bit better of a combination. But, we'll see. We get a bow. Okay, that could be a Giant Slayer, that could be a Kraken. A couple options here. It's only gonna be a silver start. Now, Efficient Shopper, I'm not a fan of personally. I think this one's a little underpowered. Lunch Money, also a little eh. But you know me, I'm always down to take AFK. Now here's a trick that, I don't know if we'll call it intended. I'd say it's intended, but maybe not. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my power snacks here. And then I'm going to click AFK, and then I'm still going to be able to get my power up. So at least I have that. And so Tankzilla will allow this to be a little tankier. Or, oh, Spiky Shell. Okay, some armor. Maybe I'll actually kill a unit or something. Gives me a little extra damage. That being said, I have AFK. I kind of expect to, you know, 3 loss from here. But AFK with, you know, the Scuttle Puddle gold means it's going to be a very rich game. So we'll have a lot of resources. And, normally I would do a bit here, by the way, where I took AFK, and for the video I would actually leave and then come back at 2-5, and it'd be funny and it'd be a great bit. But, you know, I only have so much time with you guys, and, you know, I'm not going to be able to stream as much this weekend, so you're stuck with me. I'm going to stay here, give you guys a hard time. It's, you know, I don't get to see you guys as often anymore. I don't get to think about a lot of this stuff. But, we're up against Wraith right now, and Wraith has been a very popular comp. I see a lot of Wraith on PvE. So, yeah, I don't know if it's, like, overpowered, but what I will say is that, like, visually it's, like, it feels chunky, and late game especially with champions like Varus, or Kale 3, or even Gen 3, those Wraith shots start to hurt your backline. I've been finding Gunblade on backline helps a little bit, but man, it can chunk. And we're looking at Star Guardian, by the way. Star Guardian, like I said this during the rundown, but Star Guardian to me might be the hardest trait to balance we've ever made, because you not only have the totality of, like, here's the 8 Star Guardian and how that all works, but you have all the individual combinations, and it's like, if we find out that there's, like, some combination of 6 that is optimal, you know, how do you buff it without buffing the rest? And it's gonna be a challenging one. But it's a really creative one, right? Where it's like, you can play any sort of combination of the bunch to get different effects. You know, for example, I like playing 2 Star Guardian with Nico just to give her that 10% extra healing. And then we have the Rel, so she at least gets a starting shield. So it's, you know, solid for a 2-piece trait. And I don't have to commit to, like, vertical Star Guardian and still get some benefit here. We did manage to kill a unit. That's good. Saves us a health. One more round here as we hit 20 gold before we get our AFK gold. Vi's going to come in here, which not going to give us a lot of damage, but, you know, whatever. It's fine. So I also don't get to listen to all these fat beats as much right now. Good stuff. All right. I'm looking forward to this weekend. This weekend's gonna be fun. All right. Up against a Callista Soul Fighter comp kind of going on here. Everything's 1 star. Hopefully we win this or lose this by like 2 units maybe. You know, we don't really have any damage as our big problem though, and unfortunately the Nefiri, who's very good early, combined with the Mundo, who's healing up a bit with that chair. All right, we killed nothing. It didn't go well. That's fine. We take some damage. Sag. All right, we get a carousel priority though here. There's a Swain, there's a Viego, there's a Nico. I mean, we could take the Nico and consider a even Shroud with an AD carry on the Giant Slayer, perhaps. If we get the Nico, you know, an early Nico too might allow us to turn this around and actually have a front line. So definitely an option here now that we're actually gonna be able to like buy units. And who knows, maybe we get lucky and find that Nico too. Otherwise, we're going to be holding on to 6 gold worth of stuff, which is always a little risky. So, we'll see. We'll see. All right, shop. Oh, okay, well, there you go. Apparently, my dev hacks have not been disabled. And we are going to hit the Nico. We also find a Lulu here. And now, this gives us an option where I don't need Rammus because I don't need a tank. And I was just talking about an ADC. So why don't we play around Smolder? Smolder is a champion that has no traits. You know, we don't have it on 2-1, but 2-5's still pretty early here, and so let's play around some Smolder. And so now we got 50 gold. We know we're going to be pretty rich. I don't mind this spot. So now the way Smolder works is Smolder's going to come in at level 1. He is a level 1 champion, and every time he gets takedowns and participates in fights, he's going to slowly level up. Now, his optimal itemization here is like IE, so his spell crits. Something like Shojin isn't bad, Giant Slayer, Deathblade, all the stuff that's going to make that spell hit hard. And the nice thing is, no matter what, he provides burn. So I don't need to build Sunfire, I don't need to build anything like that. Losing this by 1 or 2 is not the worst. Ooh, lose by 1. Okay, good job, Smolder. Nico didn't tank quite as long as I'd hoped for her to, unfortunately. We needed Protector in, and you can see the little level F animation here where Smolder levels up. So, gonna buy a couple units here. Now I level up and I put in another Star Guardian or a Protector here. I was on a 4 loss streak, so leveling up here might have been incorrect, especially if I end up winning. But, you know, preserving health so that we can get our Smolder going doesn't seem like the worst idea. That being said, we are going to need some extra items for this Smolder as soon as possible, but again, Nico frontline here, 3 Star Guardian. Now, I will say, I put in Syndra for 3 Star Guardian, but this didn't really move the needle that much. The Rel shield gets a little bigger. I believe Nico's healing and shielding goes up to 11%. And then Syndra gives AP over time, so at least my Nico's getting AP over time. But yeah, we end up winning the fight. Not that the level up would have made the difference here. So, all right, time to start win streaking, but we're very, very rich. We are very, very rich. And I'm not going to complain about that. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, we're basically already level 6, which is good. We find another Protector. And yeah, there's a world here where we just go like 4 Protector. Seems solid. We are playing a Protector frontline. And so one of the things about both Smolder and Kog'Maw is a common way to play them is just they're the carry and then pick a frontline, you know, whether it be heavyweights or Protector or Juggernaut, and then just play a 6 of that frontline and do well. So that's definitely an easy comp you can consider. Add some utility units if you want. But yeah, I think that's kind of the direction we're heading. That gives us excuse me, another tank item or Kraken, though I'm not sure Kraken is really optimal here. But yeah, if we make the Gargoyle here, that's going to make Nico even tankier, so that's solid. Good songs today. Getting good songs on the random list here. Alright, so we're going to at least level the 7 as quick as we can, and then probably start rolling for Smolder 2. The sooner we get Smolder 2, the more likely we are to get some takedowns, which will level him up even quicker. And getting him leveled up should feel pretty good. Alright, up against a pretty strong Mundo, but it is only a Gnar 1 in the background. It's a Gnar 1 and a Jin 2. That's an interesting combo. Trying to play around Luchador. Luchador does drop aggro. That's one of the things I've found with Mundo is that him dropping aggro kind of makes him not as good of a tank. You kind of need a secondary tank, but he is pretty tanky. So, as you can see, he does live. But thanks to Smolder's spell, he kills everything else. And we do win the fight. And you can see there, Nico doing a good chunk of tanking. All right, Crimea River, Little Buddies, and Quiet Quitting. Well, it's certainly not Little Buddies if we're playing around Smolder. Trifecta's not bad here. Preemptive Protection. Combat start, protectors shield themselves and their closest ally for 14% of their max health. Now, I end up taking this because we're already in 4 Protector. I'm not sure how strong this is. 14% doesn't seem like a lot. It has a high cap if you hit like 6 Protector with a bunch of 3 stars, but it ends up, because it's nearest, it's actually really hard to position. We're gonna go ahead and change Nico's power up here. None of the ones we're really excited to get here. I don't really like the CC immunity. Resistance gonna be good in this stage of the game. Resistant is like that flat damage reduction, and that's gonna be good right now. But as the game goes on, it's gonna be a lot less good as people start hitting like a truck. So we can just use that to get through the mid-game and hopefully streak. But yeah, you can see here the Augment has kind of given the Protector shields to like Malphite and Kennen, which probably isn't where I want them. I'd want them on Nico or Smolder. And so what I found with this Augment is it is pretty hard to position around. Now, does that mean it's weak? Not necessarily. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Extra health is extra health. Do Protectors need more health? I don't know. So we'll see. If it needs to be buffed, it needs to be buffed. But I end up taking it here, and hopefully the extra health from the Augment combined with everything else should put me in a good spot. Smolder levels up a bit. We see that little level up animation. We're going to go ahead and trade Xayah for Rel just for a little extra shield. No, not yet. Okay, we find a Smolder. If we can hit Smolder 2 again... Oh, what? That is 3 Nikos. Okay. Now, on the one hand, that we have 6 Nikos. On the other hand, I just burned all my econ. So, okay. Well, I mean, I have 6 Nikos. I'm not going to complain. And it is an extra Protector, which means the Augment's just going to give even more shielding. And yeah, you can see Smolder. Okay, nope, it all... Like, look at Rakan's health bar right now. That's a big chunk of shielding on Rakan. And at this stage in the game, people are going to really struggle to get through that. Which, at the very least, with the burn we have from Smolder, that should be able to buy us enough time here. And yeah, even Rakan is still, like, mostly at full health here. So, Smolder, burn, doing some good work here. All these Protectors are just not dying with all the amount of shielding they have. And we win the fight. Cool. But again, I kind of lost a lot of econ there. And again, it's PBE, it's Scuttle Puddle, so I do have to be worried about some of these high cap boards. I know yesterday we kind of got bailed out by that set 3. We'll see if we're that lucky today, you know? You never know. But looking at these items here, we have a bow. We certainly don't want red buff. That's just burn. Ginsu's isn't bad. Ginsu's is like slightly worse than Shojin, but at least we have the autos, so we could go Ginsu's. I'm not a biggest fan of Kraken here, but the one thing I will say, okay, we grabbed the bow. I was going to say Kraken might be better just because we know we have a really good front line and we can buy time, but apparently this Mortdog guy knows something I don't and takes a bow. So maybe he's... Okay, that's our 7th Nico. Smolder levels up a bit. We do find a Janna. That is going to give us a 5th Protector. Slightly better than that. Okay, there's an 8th Nico. I'm trying to find the Smolder here, but now it's like a Smolder or a Nico would both be really good. That gives us strategist and mentor, but we're gonna go ahead and pass on that. And, oh, there we go. Okay, now that we have Smolder 2, we should feel strong enough to be able to get some kills, to level up our Smolder. And again, we really want to make sure we get him to 15 as quick as possible. Every level that Smolder gets is 1% AD. So we're scaling. Smolder is a scaling champ. And there you go. We see we're level 13, and at level 15, his spell evolves. So we're almost there. We're getting close. Boom. All right, good damage there. Now we have Smolder 2, feeling pretty good. One more and we can win streak through the stage. And again, the power-up I'm using on Nico, very good in the early and mid-game, but I'll probably want to get off of that pretty quickly here. We find a Syndra, Smolder levels up, and given that animation, I believe that was Smolder to level 15 here. So we can apply a power-up. Bestest Boy is very fun. This is a unique one. So every 5 seconds, basically, you're just going to get more AD, or healing for Rammus, or AP for Kog'Maw. Now, it is every 5 seconds, 12 AD, so the fight does have to last a while for this to be good. I decided to re-roll it and look for something else. We could go Attack Expert. Golden Edge is a little risky this late. I don't have items for it. So instead we get... What are we going to go? We're going to go this one. All right, Gather Force. So every time I cast, I get more and more AD based on the mana I cast. So now we are definitely at the point where we want Smolder to have long fights, and every cast is going to ramp up and get bigger and bigger. That's kind of the strategy we're going for here. And so you can kind of see every time he casts, that spell's going to get chunkier and chunkier. And again, he did level to 15, so our spell has gotten better as well. Cool. Some good damage. And you can see here at level 15, every 2 casts fire a second blast at the next closest target, dealing 75% damage. So basically our spell just got a good chunk better. So no complaints there. We're 1 Nico from Nico 3, which isn't bad. But if we're going to invest in Smolder, we do have to hit Smolder 3. And now Smolder is going to be one of the hardest. Now thankfully, because he's a threat, not a lot of people will be playing him. But you do have to, you should be scouting and making sure that like nobody else is investing too much into it. Like any 3 cost, if he ends up being too contested, you're not going to be able to 3-star him. So, but thankfully he reminds me a lot of Wukong in that regard, where it's like certain people will play it. Okay, it's a Prismatic Orb again. Oh my god, it's a lot of gold and a Radiant item. Okay. Now we don't have a Shojin here, but we can just go Ginsu's and Kraken. That's not looking terrible here. We're gonna roll here. We have 6 Rakans all of a sudden. We're trying to find the Nico 3 here. Okay, and there's our 6 Protector if we want it. There we go, 6 Protector. Find a Smolder. We're at 8 Rakans, 8 Nikos. I didn't use my item in time here. And so again, knowing that we're building a comp that's just gonna take more and more time, you know, we have Ginsu's, which is ramping. We have the Gather Force, which is ramping. This really is just like build the best front line, ramp as long as possible, and let Smolder clean up fights. That's going to be our strategy here. There was the big fireball. Unfortunately, we go up against a Flicker Blade Gnar that looks insane. That Gnar is very scary. Holy, that was a big Gnar. That Gnar's going crazy. Okay. 14,000 damage Gnar. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, well, there went our win streak. Partially our bad here. Malicious Monetization's greedy. Probably don't want to do that. Water Lotus would let my spell crit. That's going to be good here, considering I didn't get anything to make my spell crit. And Smolder is more of a caster than an auto attacker. So we can use the Radiant Ginsu's to get him casting repeatedly. That synergizes well with Gather Force, because again, auto quickly, cast, build AD here. Now, is the best third item here Kraken? No. No, I should probably have like a Guard Breaker, or honestly, even better would be a Gunblade. But the good news is 3-star Protectors have big health pools. Protector is a % health. We have the Augment that's even more health. So right now, we at least have a lot of health on our team. We're 1 Nico away. So we're going to have a lot of frontline. This is not going to be too bad. We go up against a mech comp, but it's only mech 3, a lot of 1-star stuff. I can't imagine we struggle here. God, so much attack speed from the Ginsus. And once it gets going, yeah, now we just have so much health on our front line. Now, granted, this is a very easy opponent. And got that burn. And Smolder doing some good work here. Okay. Okay, looking good. See, there's got to be a pun here where this comp is like about getting the fights to drag on. Yeah, I'm a dad. Live with it. Live with it. We find a Smolder. Zyra's actually really good here. Zyra's a great sort of threat-like unit on the endgame boards here. I am still kind of rolling for this. Okay, we got another Smolder. Now we're at 7 Smolders. That's not bad. Okay, there's the Nico 3 that I was kind of rolling for. And now it's time to switch that power up here. Tankzilla is just a really good one here. 20% max health. That's even more health. And you get that stun. That stun can allow Smolder to keep going if he gets stopped here. And yeah, I think my best third item here, instead of the Kraken, would have been Gunblade. But, you know, you work with what you got. So. Alright, so now Nico should be very difficult to deal with. Smolder should have... Oh, look at those giant protector shields. Smolder should have lots of time to ramp up. We have our anti-heal. We have our Sunder. And yeah, Nico's at half health. We're doing fine. And nice 10,000 damage Smolder here, carrying the fight. We're at level 21. So we got 21 AD from that, and we're 9 levels away from leveling up. So, getting close here. And Zyra would be a great unit to just put in. That's going to give us more attack speed. Although, we don't really need that much more attack speed, so maybe there's better, but it's fine. Honestly, this is where we go back to, again, like the Star Guardian. I almost think Poppy's Star Guardian effect, which heals Star Guardians when they get low, could be good on Nico to heal her back up. So that doesn't seem like a terrible idea. But, yeah. Alright. We're going to be loose soon. Not a lot of options here. We probably just want something tank-related, a third tank item here. Alright, you just go Protector's Vow. That seems fine. Warmogs would be ideal here, but again, you work with what you got. Smolder is now level 23. Cool. We rolled a 40 here just to see if we can find any more Smolders. Because if we can hit that Smolder 3 early, again, more power is always good. But for now. And I don't really need to lock in the Protector's Vow, because something like Spirit Visage might even be better right now. So we're going to leave ourselves open just because we have 2 more rounds till the last PvE round. We don't want to end up in an awkward spot where like we drop a sword and a belt or something. So let's wait and see. We go up against a Samira 1, set 2, but the Samira 1 should struggle to get through our front line. And sure enough, Smolder's going to be able to ramp up real quick here. Yeah, and there's some big spells from Smolder here. Oh my god, that Smolder, 308 attack speed. Holy. Good job, Smolder. Alright, another level up. Ooh, one more Smolder here. How quickly can we hit it? We're going to buy all the 3... There we go. Alright, looking good. I probably could have greeted for one more round, but you know what? Let's just get Zyra in. Gives me some extra power here. We can put that plant on the back line here, because I don't really need more front line. The plant is the kind of thing that if you need more front line, put it on the front line. It has a pretty high health pool, but on the back line, it's going to do more damage. And so since we have plenty of front line, we may as well just take the extra backline damage. And oh my god, that is a big Malphite. That is a big Malphite, but thankfully we are a ramping comp. And it doesn't have too much armor. We have anti-heal. I think Smolder combined with the Zyra should do okay here. And sure enough, Nico just now dying. Boom. Nice. 18,000 damage Smolder. I like it. Alright. So now we have this interesting thing where it's like, what are we really leveling up for, right? We have 6 Protector. It's like Star Guardian's good. We're at level 27. So we're almost getting there. Level 30, we start to ignore 50% of the target's armor, and the spell costs 10 less. So if we can get to level 30, that's going to allow him to plow through tanks a little quicker. Just generally more damage for Smolder. Plus being able to cast more feels good. So cool. Gold Orb, that's a lot of stuff here. We get a Cassante. Cassante is also a okay, that is just so many resources. Holy cow. But I am glad we saved the items because sure enough, look at that. We have a Shojin that we could put on Zyra. Or we just go full tank items here. We could go... Yeah, I like this actually. We take the belt. We talked about how having this on Nico would be good. You get that durability. You get that healing. That's not bad. And then we could just put the Bramble on the Recon 3 for even more health. So this is me trying to figure out the positioning of the augment, by the way, of like how to give shields to the right people. And at the very least now what I have is Nico and Recon giving each other a shield. I have Kennen trying to give Nico some more shield, but this is what I mean. This augment's a little challenging to position. So, but at the very least, if you just go in pairs, you know you can give someone thing, or you could go, you know, someone to the left and the right of Nico if you really wanted to go that route. But yeah, Smolder doing big work here. Pretty easy win. And we're in a good spot here. I mean, we're full win streaking. We've got our 3-star Nico, our 3-star Smolder. Smolder should be level 30 anytime now. Plays a level up animation. Is that 29 or 30? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and... Okay, we're not gonna level up yet. Tankzilla, Gather Force, looking good. Yeah, and again, I'm still struggling, like, how do I position this to make sure Nico and Recon get these shields? It's a bit of a challenge. So, yeah, like I said, I think there's some work to do here, but here's what it is. We go up against a Radiant... Oh, that Rise looks incredibly scary. That Rise's spell is going to hit like a truck. Now, sure enough, Nico gets knocked to about half health from one of them. The Protector Shield procs. Rise now hits some of the back line. Nico got knocked around by the Braum, but thankfully, Smolder walked up, killed the Rise, and we are going to knock out the player named the Whale Lord. Guess he got sent back to the ocean. All right, there's a Rise in our shop. All right, we just played the level up animation, and there we go, level 31. So we are level 30 now. We ignore 50% of the target's armor, and our spell casts more often because our mana got reduced to 10. So that's pretty good. We're going to play this instead of Zyra. That's going to give us Strategist, which, you know, little extra damage amp. Now, this Strategist to me feels weaker than last set because the shield being flat health, on the front line, you don't really need that much shield. But, hey, this is last set's song. Now, unfortunately, we do go up against a very scary-looking Yumi. And if we learned anything from yesterday, Yumi's very strong. Yumi's very strong. Yeah. Yumi's still looking a little scary. Now, we're doing okay here. If we can get on the back... Oh, nice. Oh, look at that Yumi damage, though. 16,000 damage, and 55% of it is true damage? Woo! That Yumi is... that makes me nervous. That makes me nervous. Item-wise here, we're starting to look for more tank items for our Recon. Again, given that we have Gather Force and Kraken, we're really just looking to, like, buy time. And so Recon 3 getting 3 tank items should be good. But here's the flaw in that plan, by the way. I'm up against a Yumi. Yumi does a lot of true damage. So being tanky... not quite as effective. So, you know, things like Warmogs can help because true damage, you know, gets countered by health, but there wasn't really a Warmogs here. So we're going to level up. We find a Seraphine. That's going to give us Star Guardian and, you know, a Seraphine, which isn't bad. But we do find a Braum. Honestly, I should have considered the Braum here as well. Find a Seraphine. Now, Seraphine... feels like she's kind of just okay, but you can see here Seraphine's giving 5 armor, MR, health, and stuff to Nico and her. So again, the Nico is going to be a little stronger. I won't complain about that. We go up against a Soul Fighter comp with a Samira 2. Frontline's holding though, and now Smolder's ramped up here. Woo, got a little close, but overall, Nico didn't die. Smolder did 17,000 damage. So, not bad. Ooh, Cassante 2, that's nice. That gives him a little extra health bar. And again, now, even though we've reached level 30, Smolder does keep leveling up. So every level up is just one more AD for him. So he can get high. I'll be curious to see what the highest level people can get their pets to. You know, do we see like level 50 Smolders? Because if so, that's kind of cool. So, all right. We have strategists in. 4 players left. We're on an 8-game win streak. We go up against a very strong-looking crew comp. They have Sivir 3, Malphite 3 with a lot of health, Ziggs 3, Shen 3. So this is a 4-crew comp, and they do have the TF. We're almost through the Malphite, and again, we're ramped up now. There's that Tankzilla stun that buys us some time. Malphite down, Shen down, Nico's still at half health. I think we're okay. Nice. 24,000 damage on this Smolder. Holy. That seems pretty good. Oh wait, that's last set. Good song though. Man, we have gotten some great songs for our sets. Alright, we find a Cassante. We do get 2 more items. And again, we're looking for at least 1 tank item. Something like a Warmogs would be good here. We can put blue buff on Seraphine, get her casting quicker. Thieves Gloves on Cassante is also an option. Alright, Thieves Gloves on Cassante, that seems good. Adaptive Helm on Rakan. Yeah, alright, makes sense. So now we have 3-item Rakan, 3-item Nico, 3-item Cassante, and Smolder. And we have 50 gold, so we can try to work our way to level 10, maybe find another strategist. We do up against the ghost here of this Yumi, and again, that Yumi's been so strong. Looks like they have a Prodigy emblem also. So it looks like it's 7 Battle Academia, 5 Prodigy. So, looking pretty strong here, but again... Oh, they also have Seraphine too, and so yeah, most of my front line's down here. Tankzilla stun does buy us some time. Oh, unfortunately that's gonna kill Nico. This neck, oh god, you can see the Yumi cast doing work, but Cassante on the back. Cassante clear. Cassante, oh, Janna shields with the protector shield. Oh my god, that was a close fight, but oh my god, look at that Yumi damage. 22,000 Yumi damage. Okay. Okay, well, that's the only player left. That's the only player left is that Yumi, and yeah. How can we do it? We're on a 10-game win streak. It feels like we put together the best comp we can, but that Yumi doing a lot of true damage. I don't know. I mean, I do know. They're level 10 now. They're pretty capped out here. And just watch how fast, like, Nico's at about half health. Nico's shield is gone. Nico's dead. So 3 casts to kill my Nico 3 with Tankzilla. Ooh, that's pretty rough. And, oh my god, 21. Okay. Yeah, she's pretty strong. Pretty strong. All right, we might be in trouble here, folks. Smolder levels up. We're gonna level up here. Put in Poppy for an extra Star Guardian. That's gonna give us the part where when they get low, they heal. We're gonna try to maximize the shields on Nico if we can with our augment. But this is where it's kind of weird, where it's like, who gets the shield? I probably should have just back up the Malphite and the Kennen to make sure that they get them. And yeah, we don't want to let the Yumi ramp up, so maybe we put him on the same side as Yumi, walk over. Yeah, 7 Battle Academia. They haven't hit the Prismatic here. But they're on the wrong side for us. And yeah, you can see the shields go out. God, that first Yumi cast just deletes a couple people. And it just, the fights are so fast because of the Yumi. We don't really have time to ramp up here. Tankzilla stun tries. But, oh my God, it just melts the team. And okay. Okay, well, we might be in trouble here, folks. Spoiler, we're in trouble. So, honestly, though, you know, I think I played this game well. We got to play around Smolder. We got to see Protector. Unfortunately, kind of like yesterday, we ran into a Yumi. Yumi did some pretty big work, and it just wasn't quite enough. So, you're going to see me here sort of last-minute desperation try to, like, change power-ups, see if that can help me. We find a jeweled gauntlet, which, And we're running out of champions to really put items on that'll make a big difference. So, it's really just, they're a little too tanky, and we have to get through the Yumi, so, or get to the Yumi. But, again, not bad, second place, level 41 Smolder. We are technically ramping. I'm not sure if 2 or 3 more AD is going to swing these fights. And their Yumi is very well itemized. So, although, I mean, Shojin really, actually, I don't know if Shojin's really the right item for Yumi either. But, again, it might not matter. It's just so much true damage. Yeah. And next Yumi cast kills me. Ouch. Woo! Woo! Alright, I probably got like 2 more lives left. Alright, we're going to try to see if we can change power-ups, see if that saves us here. Bestest Boy is probably too slow. Efficient would let us cast. We can try Cyclone Rush here. Now this is where I get a little like clever, like, hey, maybe if I Zephyr the Yumi here, I might be able to ramp up faster than the Yumi. Now we do lose our AD though, so we are going to be a little weaker. But if I can Zephyr them, maybe that'll make a difference. So, and I only have 1 more fruit after that, so I don't think we redo Tankzilla. Tankzilla's been making a very big difference. So hopefully they don't notice. We pretend we're not changing our positioning. And, okay, we landed the Zephyr. We landed the Zephyr. Is it enough? Does that matter? 4 seconds before that Yumi can ramp up. It's gonna be close. Nico, okay, next cast is gonna kill Nico. We got the Tankzilla stun out. Casante's healing, and I mean, it was closer, but no. No, that didn't matter. We lost as much damage, so I think that's it. So we're gonna get 2 more items, but really, and here's the bad thing here, is that this is just gonna help them more. They've got a lot more carries in their comp, whereas I have a bunch of protectors. We're going to try to roll 1 more time. Maybe if our attacks and abilities ignore even more of their armor. Although, I'll be honest, now that I look at this, those might not stack, and I might have just doomed myself because we already have the 50% armor ignore, and I'm skeptical those stack, which is a little awkward. So I really doubt I'm ignoring 90% of their armor now. Unless maybe it's like 50, then 40, so it's multiplicative? I'd actually have to look that up. I don't know. We roll down here, see if we can hit anything. We hit the Poppy too. We're kind of looking for... Okay, we find the Seraphine too. It's something. We could look for some Seraphine items. I mean, that's a Seraphine with 3 items. It's not the worst. So we got a little stronger. But is it enough? I don't know, man. This Yumi. This Yumi's been very scary. And my tank's already dead. I think they hit the prismatic, so there you go. Smolder was fun. Hope you enjoyed. Alright, that's gonna do it for me. Until next time, take it easy.